Hey guys, how's it going? So today I want to do a video on my watch collection. So I have a total of about 9 watches at the moment. I probably regularly wear about 6 or so of them. And I just wanted to go through my whole collection because it is a collection that I've probably made over the past like 2 years now. When I was younger, I was always into watches, had like the Fossil watches and that sort of thing, which were back then, nice watches. But nowadays I have some grown-up money, and I have been purchasing some watches that I really like wearing, and also some pieces that also look just very nice. And I'm going to go through, kind of show you that collection. I have my watch box right here, which has everything in here, and it has just kind of a mix. Now I do have a few G-Shocks. So I'm going to start off with probably my favorite G-Shock, and then we'll just kind of go throughout the video. I do want to show you my new watch. So this is my Hamilton Khaki Field. This is the one with the power reserve on it as well. I'm not sure if the camera's focusing on that or not. But I just got this watch today, so I've been wearing it for about 4 hours. Really enjoying it so far. It is my first, you could say, high-end mechanical watch. I do have another, or automatic watch. I do have another automatic watch here, my Citizen Tasoya, that I'll show you guys, and I'll give you my thoughts on that. But first off, I'm going to set my new Hamilton right here and show you my G-Shocks. So the first G-Shock that I have, this is my 5610U. This is a watch that I wore a ton. I probably wore this watch for about 6-ish months straight. I did wear some other watches in the meantime, but like this watch got a lot of wear. It has had a lot of abuse. I've worn it in the pool for multiple hours. I have worn it swimming, cutting the grass, going in the water, in the ocean and all that. And it has just held up extremely well. It's been abused. I've knocked it around a ton, and just overall it's taken everything like a champ. The fantastic thing about these watches is if you're trying to get into like G-Shocks in general, this is like the first G-Shock I would personally recommend. It's solar powered, so you do have an internal battery, but the solar is what actually charges it. And you never have to worry about really changing out a battery. You might have to replace the battery after like 6 to 10 years or something along those lines, but otherwise solar powered. It also is multi-band 6, which means it will connect to there's about 3 multi-band 6 towers. The main one for the USA is in I think it's Fort Collins, Colorado. So that was kind of cool when I went out to Colorado for my honeymoon. I was able to kind of see that. But these will sync. Generally, for me, I'm in Florida, so I'm pretty far away from that tower. But this watch will usually sync at least 4 times a week. So these things keep time extremely well. It will sync the date. It'll sync the time down to the second on the atomic clock. So great everyday watches. These can be had for, I want to say, I think I paid about $100-ish bucks. You can probably find them for a little bit cheaper. They might be a little more expensive depending on where you go, but great watch. They are backlit. This one specifically does have it's just like an LED backlight, if you can see that on there. So they work great. Love this thing. Great watch overall. Highly recommend it. I'm just going to kind of set these all down here on my table I'm working on. But the next one, I'm just going to go through my G-Shocks. My next one, this is one of my more recent G-Shocks. This model, I honestly forgot the model. This is a GW 6900. So again, same concept as the square model. You have multi-band 6. It's solar charged as well. Just a different shape. And you do have some different complications on the watch as well. You have your time. You have also your battery health, and what else is on here? Battery health. You have like a seconds countdown as well, which is in like 10-second increments. And then in the middle, there's just like you have your signal received, your mute settings, all that sort of thing. But again, either of these watches, like if you decide, hey, I'm going to start off with either of these watches, they're both absolutely fantastic. I've never had a single issue with either of these. I've had this watch for a lot longer than the 6900, but they both are fantastic watches, and they're both around, I want to say this watch I paid about 124, so it was a little bit more than the G-Shock Square. But at the end of the day, like if you want to have a 2-watch collection of G-Shocks, these two are the ones to do it with, because they're affordable. You can also customize these things if you want to. These are exactly how they came out of the box. They're bulletproof watches. They're fantastic if you don't want to get into like full-on, watches. So I'm gonna go with my other watch. I do have another G-Shock Square. You'll notice a trend here. I'm a big fan of the G-Shock Squares. So this is my 5610. This is a GMW B5000. Yeah, they're B5000. So this is basically this watch, but upgraded. So with this watch, you get a steel case back, a steel screw down case back, if you can see that on the camera. And it has a little bit nicer of a display. However, I will say after I bought this, I thought I would be a fan of the negative display, but I do much prefer the positive displays on G-Shocks. So if you see this one, you see how like the numbers and all that are in black and the rest is just white. This watch is, the whole display is black, minus where all of your information is and your numbers and all that. So personally, I like a positive display. These you can read very clear, I will say that. But personally, I think it's just like in really bright, like in darker rooms and that sort of thing, it's not as easy to read this. Now, these watches, these retail for about $500. They're not cheap watches by any means. Some people, this might be a lot of money for some people. This might be very cheap for some people. It just really depends on your budget. For me, this was a pretty expensive watch. It was probably the first watch I bought that I spent a significant amount of money on besides my Apple Watch. But I have beat the crap out of this thing. I've worn it a ton. You can see, like, if you can notice on camera, it's got a lot of dings and dents and scratches and all that on the front side of it. So I have worn this thing a lot. It has not been babied. Again, I've worn it to, outside when I'm playing pickleball, when we're cutting the grass, when I'm swimming. Like, it has been beaten. I've banged it against walls. It's held up. So my only gripe with these watches is that they are not sapphire crystal displays. They're kind of like a synthetic. I forgot what Casio actually calls these, but it's not sapphire. So I have gotten on this screen a few little nicks. Like I have like 2 little nicks. I have no idea where they came from, but I have gotten 2 little nicks on the display. And the one happened like a week after I had the watch, and it was kind of disappointing because I didn't expect it to happen. Because the weird thing is on my other G-Shock Square, this guy right here, is that I've still to this day on this display, there's not one scratch. There's some just junk on the screen right now, but not one scratch on this screen. And then the watch that is 4 times its price gets a scratch on the screen. So that was a little disappointing. These watches, very comfortable to wear. They do definitely have some weight behind them. The clasp on it has gotten fairly scratched up, but that's pretty much to be expected with like any stainless steel band for the most part, unless there's a really good coating on them. But this one did get scratched up. But honestly, like at the end of the day, my point in buying these nice watches is they're not sitting in a box. I am wearing them. Like I think like when these watches have some scratches and they have some character, basically, I think that really makes the watch look, makes you look like you've worn it and you've actually used it and take care of it. So I do prefer that. But yeah, so that is pretty much my G-Shock collection. Besides one more we do have of the G-Shocks, which this one I never wear. I think I wore it once. This is, I don't even forgot what this is, a LF20W. Little guy, little watch. I think my wife actually wore this once. This was a very random purchase that I bought, and I don't know if the time's accurate on it. Nope, it's an hour ahead. So these are just powered off a battery. They have like nothing really. There's no multi-band 6, there's no solar. It's just the battery. The battery probably lasts 4 to 5 years on it. And they're cute. Like, they're cute little watches. If you're looking for a cheap little watch, I have bigger wrists, so like this thing kind of looks ridiculous on me. I'll show you. But it's very, very small on my wrists, as you can see. Just looks kind of ridiculous. So I don't ever wear this thing. It was like 20 bucks. I think I maybe paid 25 bucks, but they're cheaply made. The clasp is plastic. So I mean, like, it's a good little cheap watch. I don't know if I'd recommend buying them. I mean, unless you're like into collecting these. But for me, it was a very random purchase. It was so cheap. I was like, why not? It's kind of cool. I didn't realize how small it was because Amazon, when I bought it on Amazon, they did not really, it doesn't show in pictures how small this watch is. But yeah. So let's see. So I'm going to show you the watch I've been wearing the most recently before I just got my Hamilton. This is my Citizen Diver. So I put a NATO strap on this. Naturally, these do come with a just rubber strap on them, but I put a blue NATO on here, and I have been wearing the crap out of this watch. I've had this watch for probably a little over a year right now. Actually, probably a year and a half. It's been a pretty long time, but I really like this watch. So these watches, when I bought this, these were about $200-ish. I want to say I paid like $210, something like that on Amazon. But I looked recently, and these watches are approaching like 300 bucks now, maybe even a little bit higher. But these are fantastic watches. Like, I have worn this thing in the pool. I've worn it to work a ton. You can make this look one of two ways. You can do it kind of how I have it, where I consider this like maybe a semi-casual sort of ordeal where, you know, it looks nice. You can wear it like semi-formal-ish attire. But you can also throw a leather strap on it if you want, or you could put it on a metal band and make it look really nice. I've never had this on a metal band since I've gotten it. It's pretty much lived on this strap. I was trying to see if I had the original. Yeah, so this is like the original strap it came with, which was like, this is not a very nice rubber, just kind of cheap feeling rubber. So I had it on that for, you know, for like a couple days before I bought the NATO strap. But I've had this thing, great watches. They keep time phenomenally. They don't, like, you basically have to adjust the time on it when you have a time zone change or something along those lines. Otherwise, these are great watches. I highly recommend this watch. Absolutely fantastic. So, no complaints there. The case is held up really well. This one also, I have no scratches on the screen. So I don't know how, because when I wear my watches, they get beaten. I run into things, I smacking my hands against things while I'm walking around, that sort of thing. I have a tendency to like smack my hand or my wrist area like on corners of walls for some reason, or just walking by things because I'm clumsy. But this thing's held up great. It feels really nice. And otherwise, fantastic watch. If you're looking for like a good diver watch in a budget range, great starter point. And they look good. My only complaint with this watch, after just kind of looking at it, is the date window is extremely small, like to the point of where you have to really look at it. It's really, really small. So that's that. I'm going to go on to my next Citizen. That's we're kind of wrapping it up here, and then I'll show you my Hamilton that I just bought. But, so I bought this before my wedding, before my wife and I got married last October. I wanted like a nice dress watch, and I ran into, I think it was some random jewelry store in a mall near us, and I found this. It is a Citizen Tasoya. I looked at these quite a bit online before I bought this as well, and read a lot of good reviews about them. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this watch. I have worn it, not a ton. I would say I've worn it maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks and all together, you know, of wearing it, but not a huge fan of it. Just so this is kind of like a resemblance of the Tissa, however the hell you say Tissa, I think it's Tissa PRX, their Powermatic PRX, which has a similar shape. And when I just bought my watch today, I actually put on a PRX just to try it out. This just feels cheap. I don't know why. Like, these are good watches, and I know people are gonna probably talk a lot of crap in the comments and say I'm wrong, but that's fine. I think it's all personal preference and like watches you like. But I'm just not a huge fan of this watch. It fits on the wrist comfortably. It's light, but it does not keep time fantastically. Now, this watch was running about 15 seconds a day fast for me. So when I was at the watch store, I was wearing this, and he said he demagnetized it for me because he sounded like he said it was magnetized for some reason. So he did demagnetize it. I'm curious to see if if that does anything. But you can't really see, but on the backside you can kind of see it has a clear glass window where you can see the movement and all that. So cool watch. For the money, I think these are about $380, $350 in that range. I don't know if I would buy it again after owning it. I don't know if I'd recommend it. Now, I mean, it's a nice looking, it's a very nice looking dress watch. That's one thing I will say. It's a decent looking dress watch. You can wear this with a suit. You can wear it to a wedding, kind of whatever you want. And you can get these colors, these faces. They have them in like, I think they have them in yellow, orange. They have them in like a pink. They have them in like a blue. There's a ton of different face colors you can get for these. So for a watch under $400, it does look nice. The bracelet's good. I don't like the clasp though. The clasp is just, it's very bulky and not necessarily bulky. It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't wear right. And I've adjusted it to my wrist size, but yeah, it's a nice watch, but I wouldn't buy it again personally. So other than that, I have, this probably shouldn't even be mentioned in here, but I do have an Apple Watch Ultra. This is a Gen 1 Apple Watch Ultra. I've had this since they came out, pretty much, like literally pretty much I bought it on release day. I wore this for a long time, but I really have been getting away from wearing a smartwatch, so this doesn't really get a whole lot of wear time anymore. Occasionally, I will put it on if my wife and I are going exercises or bike rides, that sort of thing. That's generally when I'll put this on, but I'm not going to say much more about this. I do have a special watch in here that I don't wear, but it was my grandfather's, and he passed away quite a bit ago now at this point. But this is a Hamilton, it says Hamilton Masterpiece on the front. This is not my style by any means, but it is a piece that I keep. I replaced the battery in it. So last time I checked, I don't know why it's not running now, but it is a quartz movement. It's just like a quartz, and I just keep it for a remembrance of him. But cool to watch. It does have, so he worked for a company, a power company, and I think this was a gift from the power company at the time because it has his name engraved on the back, and it is a Hamilton, it says 10 karat filled gold, so I don't know if this is actually real gold or not, but it does run. I put a battery in it a few months ago. I don't know why it's not running now. Very odd, but it was running at one point, so I don't know if the battery died on it or what the hell happened, but put a brand new battery in. Now it's not running, so that's cool. But this is just a little piece that stays in my watch box because my grandfather was a big watch person as well. So I'm just gonna put that here, and then I will show you my wife, or she was my girlfriend at the time when she bought this for me, but a fossil. I was really big into fossils for a long time. I don't know why, because they're okay. We'll put it at that. They're good starter watches, but this was a fossil watch I bought that she had bought me a while back, and I actually wore it for a good little bit, but the battery has been dead on it for, God, probably 2-3 years now, and I just have never replaced it because I don't wear it. But it's actually a pretty good looking watch. It really is not a bad looking watch, but I just don't really wear a whole lot of like black bands anymore. And I don't even know, I haven't put this thing on in a very long time. I wonder if it even fits me still. No, it does. It fits me still. But yeah, so it's actually loose on me. So I probably need to take a link out of that. But just a little quartz movement chronograph sort of ordeal. The band's actually not bad on that, surprisingly. It actually feels like a pretty nice band. But God, it's funny how like when you go from a little bit better quality watches, how cheap these bands feel, like how light they feel. So But that's pretty much my watch collection. Besides my new one that I just bought today, this is a watch that I've looked at a few times. So this is my Hamilton Khaki Field 80-hour power reserve. It has the gauge as well. This is with the I think they call it the power gauge, and it displays how much power reserve you have left in the watch. So they claim about 80 hours on this, and what I wanted when I bought this is, I can't really give my opinions like if I 100% love the watch right now. I mean, right now, of course, I love it. I haven't found any quirks on it, but I wanted a simple watch that was high quality, had a really good movement in it, and had a good heritage to the brand as well. And that's kind of what led me onto Hamilton. So this is the version that comes on this NATO strap. It comes this way. They do have a version that I looked at that has a white face, and it has a full metal bracelet that is also bead blasted. And I just wasn't a fan of the full bead blasted band along with the white face. So the watch shop that I went to, he had this version, which was the black face. And as you can tell, big fan of NATO straps. So I really was drawn towards the NATO strap side. But this is a whole different caliber for me. It's a whole different caliber of price and just quality, because really the only other automatic watch that I ever had was my Casio. And like I said, just not overly happy with that watch. This watch, I was just really excited to have something that has just like the sapphire crystal on this looks amazing. Like, you almost cannot see it with how clear it is. And that's really, like, I've never seen that. Like, I know a lot of watches have that, but it just looks really nice. It has nice depth to it. The movement on this watch is also very nice, and it wears on the wrist extremely well. So I've been wearing this for about 4 hours now, and it just wears. I have big wrists, and this is a 40 millimeter case on this. So for some people, I guess this might be a little big, but for me, it's like almost a perfect size to where it doesn't look too small on my wrist, but also overall just looks really nice. So really big fan of it. Fits, it feels very nice on the wrist, feels comfortable. It's not super heavy. But yeah, I'm going to be wearing this for a while, and I'll give you guys maybe an update video down the road if I have some other opinions on it. But it's really nice. It does not have a date on it, which is a new thing for me. But I also like that, because if you put the watch down, like this watch right here, for instance, my Casio, when I don't wear this, if you don't wear it like every 2 days, it dies. And then every time you pick it up, you have to adjust the time, you have to adjust the date, and the crown on this is so small. Like, you have to pop it out, and I have big hands, so like it's a pain to adjust this little crown. Whereas this has a nice big crown. You manually wind it. You don't have to pull it out to adjust or anything like that. Or I'm sorry, to wind it, which is very nice. It's not a screw down crown. This doesn't have a screw down crown either. Really, like the only watch I have mainstream, maybe besides the Fossil, but this dive watch obviously has a screw down crown. These are 200 meter water resistance, so they obviously have a screw down crown. But yeah, so that's pretty much my watch collection. I just wanted to show you guys this because I've been into watches for a while. I just kind of got back into it a little bit ago, and I'm building up that watch collection. I have some watches that I probably will sell this to Soya. Actually, no, I probably won't, because I wore this on my wedding day, so I can't sell this watch. But this watch I probably won't wear a ton, maybe just here and there for events, that sort of thing. But my Hamilton will probably be my daily driver for a bit. And then I'll still use my G-Shocks. G-Shocks, fantastic watches. Like, if you guys have like $100 for a really good watch, like just a good daily watch you want to beat the crap out of, get a G-Shock. They're fantastic. You can't go wrong with them. I recommend buying G-Shocks from either like Amazon or eBay or an authorized retailer, but because you can find really good deals sometimes on the Amazon on these G-Shocks. Like, they'll mark them down quite a bit sometimes. I can't remember how much I paid for this, but like I said, I want to say it was sub $100, and for the amount of tech that you're getting and a watch this size, it's a fantastic deal. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Like I said, just kind of a little sit and talk of my watch collection. My favorite G-Shock out of all three I have are obviously the squares, but I love the metal G-Shocks. For people that say, oh, a G-Shock can't be dressy, you can't wear it with a suit or whatever along those lines, get one of the metal ones. They're fantastic. You can find these things. If you look on G-Shock's website, I want to say these are about $600, but you can find them regularly on eBay for sub $500. They're great watches. They work. They're nice and heavy duty. They're extremely water resistant, so you can swim with them in the ocean, swim with them, go in the shower with them, whatever the heck you want. Great buys. And again, the circles, the good old just oval Casios are fantastic watches. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, have any suggestions, please leave it down in the comment box. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have a great day.